Hey, it's Bill Russell. I'm here in my yellow hat. I wore it at VIVE and HIMSS to signify our partnership with Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation and the search for cures and to combat childhood cancer. I'm just blown away by the generosity of our community. With the help of our partners, SureTest, Rackspace, CTG, and some of you giving individually, we were able to raise close to $40,000 at those two events. It is just exceptional. And I would like to thank all of you who have joined us in this cause. If you would like to be a part of it as well, go ahead and hit our page, thisweekhealth.com. You can go to the top blue banner that is on our homepage and click on that to give today. Thank you again for being a part of this effort and this cause. Today in Health IT, go or don't go to the VIVE conference, how to maximize your value. My name is Bill Russell. I'm a former CIO for a 16 hospital system and creator of This Week Health, set of channels and events dedicated to transform healthcare one connection at a time. We want to thank our show sponsors who are investing in developing the next generation of health leaders: SureTest, Artisight, Enterprise Health, Parlance, Certify Health, Notable, and ServiceNow. Check them out at thisweekhealth.com/today. All right, having a child with cancer is one of the most painful and difficult situations a family can face. In 2024, we are raising the bar. We raised $50,000 last year. We're going to raise another $100,000 this year, and we're going to do that with your help. We ask you to join us. Hit our website, top right-hand column, see a logo for the lemonade stand. Click on that to give today. And if you're at the VIVE conference, find Captain, participate in Captain's Campaign for Cures. You can find out more about that all over social media. One last thing, share this podcast with a friend or colleague. Use it as a foundation for daily or weekly discussions on the topics that are relevant to you and the industry. Great opportunity for mentoring. And if you haven't checked it out, you check out Sue Shade's blog post on mentoring as well. Great opportunity for you to enable the next generation. They can subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. All right, let's get to it. VIVE is here. I'm getting on a plane tomorrow morning. It is Friday morning. I'm recording this a little late this week, and I will be heading out to LA, and I've already planned on how to maximize my experience. My question to you is, have you planned to maximize your experience? And I'm going to give two different approaches. One is if you are attending the conference, and the second is if you are not attending the conference. You might think, that's odd. How am I going to maximize my conference experience if I'm not attending the conference? I have some experience doing that recently, so I wanted to share some of that with you. All right, if you're going to the conference, you have to plan. So there's just pre-event planning. You can look at the agenda, at the speakers. You can look at any number of things that's already out there and determine, is there a topic that you want to explore? Is there a solution you want to explore? Is there a person you want to meet? One of the things I do going into conferences is I determine what are the key topics I want to talk about. And for your health system, what are the key initiatives you have coming up? What are the key challenges that you're currently facing? Write out the questions. If you're on a plane right now, write out the questions that you would like to get answers to. Sometimes if I don't want to reveal too much, I will have a pre-question where I say, hey, what have you done around the ERP solution? And they'll say, we just went to Workday or whatever it is. And then I can say, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a question about that. And then I will reveal a little bit about what's going on. I don't want to just blurt out, hey, we're having a lot of problems with fill in the blank and whatever. I want to use some discernment there and not share our dirty laundry everywhere, but just find those people who have relevant experience and knowledge in your space and get that. So write down your questions, write down your challenges, write down the things you want to walk away from. Begin with the end in mind. One of the best things I've ever read in a book. Begin with the end in mind. I think I've used it 1,000,000 times. The other thing is schedule meetings with relevant people ahead of time. If you want to do an interview with us, schedule a meeting. Not hard to do. Just shoot us a note. We are doing interviews in action. Both myself and Drex are both doing that. Drex is going to focus mostly in on the security side, but he'll also do CIO interviews and chief data officers, whoever happens to be there. We're going to try to capture some of that for you. So schedule meetings with relevant people, relevant vendors, relevant partners to discuss potential solutions, collaborations, you name it. All right, next thing. The most powerful aspect of VIVE, the carnival, is networking, period. End of discussion. It's the most powerful thing of any of these get-togethers. It's networking. If you don't walk away with business cards, if you don't walk away with industry contacts, having met people, you're not doing it right. Go up to people. If you're the introvert, muster everything in your power to go up to them. And let me help you out here. They want to talk to you. You might think, oh, they don't want to talk to me. They are geared up to talk to people. If they are at this conference, they're geared up to talk to people. And our industry, more than any other industry I've ever been a part of, is willing to share, help, and support you. So if you see a speaker up on stage and you think, oh, they'll never talk to me, go talk to them. Give it a try. Give it a try once or twice. If it doesn't work, shoot me a note. Tell me who it is. I will personally reach out to them and connect you with them later. I will shame them into connecting with you. It's not how we operate in healthcare, and you might have caught them on a bad day or they were busy or those kinds of things. I have great stories of people who, when I was a neophyte, I knew nothing about healthcare, that they took the time, and they were extremely busy CIOs. They took the time to spend time with me and help me to understand the nuances. John Glasser, John Halamka, Ed Marks, and others. The Stephanie Reel, the list just goes on and on of people that I looked at and I thought, oh man, Johns Hopkins, Mass General, these people don't have time for me. And they made time for me. And I'm eternally grateful for them doing that. Yeah, see how many business cards you can get. We are going with digital business cards this year. Decided not to spend another $100 for a box of cards that we're going to replace again next year, and see if we can keep moving our sustainability efforts forward on our side. So that's what we're doing. Learning and innovation. There's going to be a lot of sessions. Identify the sessions you want to go to. Don't overcrowd it. Don't have session after session. Identify the topics that are important to you. Leave time for networking. Again, the most valuable thing you're going to have is networking. If there's someone leading a discussion that you want to talk to, go to their session, talk to them afterwards, see if you can set up some time at a Starbucks. Vendor evaluations. The most valuable thing about the showroom floor is, and by the way, I've said this a lot of times, the showroom floor is, I think, one of the worst things that we've come up with in terms of how we've done it. We've set it up like Hunger Games. And the Hunger Games operates like they open up this space and the vendors go in, they set up all their traps, and they have little guns to shoot your badge and to capture your information, and then they're going to spam the crap out of you. That's how CIOs think about it. And a bunch of the people in that room, they're compensated to get your information. And then the CIOs go in there or avoid it altogether and try to dodge those traps. I think it's awful. With that being said, I think there's a way to do this effectively. A lot of people have figured out how to do this effectively. And in a lot of cases, it's to reach out to these vendors ahead of time saying, hey, I'm coming to the conference and we're not currently using your solution. I would like some time with some key people to talk through your solution and understand it better. If you're just going to walk the floor, same kind of thing. Identify the handful of solutions that you're going to talk to. If you're just bouncing around window shopping, it's probably not going to be as effective as really thinking through your strategy. I will set aside some time where I'm doing the edges, where I'm looking at the things like the Cedars-Sinai Accelerator, and I'm going through oh, wow, that's what you're doing with AR and VR and stuff. Those aren't the things I'm looking to buy immediately, but those are the things I'm looking at to say, where's this world going? And then knowledge sharing. Take detailed notes on sessions and keynotes and other things. And I would say organize a post-conference debrief session with your team to discuss key takeaways. If you go to that conference, spend the time, take the time away, spend the money, whatever it happens to be, I think it's incumbent upon you to bring value back to your organization. Go in with that mindset, come back with that mindset, and tell people, hey, I went to the conference, I have some notes I'd love to share with you for those who haven't gone. All right, let's talk about those who aren't going to the conference. So there's a handful of things. One is, if there is virtual participation, and I'm not really sure if there is or not with VIVE. There might be, and if there is, register virtually. I know you can't go to every session, you're still working, but see what you can do in terms of gathering information that way, or assign people to go to certain virtual sessions. That's another way to do it. Get the team involved and get them going to some of these sessions. I would say the other thing is you can engage with almost any conference online. Every one of them have figured out a way to do this. I think it's VIVE 2024 is going to be the hashtag for VIVE. I think HIMSS is HIMSS 24. They should just change it up a little bit. Regardless, some people are going to make mistakes. They're going to do VIVE 24 and that kind of stuff. So if you want to follow what's going on, you can do that on X, you can do that on LinkedIn, and people will be posting a bunch of stuff beyond the pictures. We're going to have hashtag Captain Lemonade. You can see who's participating in our fundraiser for Alex's Lemonade stand. But for the most part, that's just the fun stuff that's out there. We'll tag VIVE 2024 as well, and you can see that. And so you can see who was there. That's another way of doing this. You can see who was there, and you can shoot them an email. And follow Captain Lemonade, see who's there, and say, hey, what was the key? What did you get out of the conference? What was the key takeaway? What did you hear? What were the trends and that kind of stuff? You could just shoot those emails out as you see people who are there, and I'm sure they will shoot you notes back. The other thing is there's a way to network from afar. And I've done this a couple of times where I see people speak on certain topics, or I will see certain people at the event and I will shoot them a note and say, hey, I saw you spoke on this topic. Now for me, a lot of times I'll reach out and say, I saw you spoke on this topic. I read the article over here, or I read some comments over here on social media. I'd love to interview you is what I'll say. But what you might say is, hey, I see you spoke on ERP implementations at VIVE. I'd love to get some time with you to talk about your ERP experience and my ERP experience. So you can network from afar as well. And then vendor engagement, to be honest with you, the best way to engage the vendors if they are at VIVE or they post something that's interesting on social media that you see is to just reach out to them directly. They all want to sell to you. So they're going to set up a time, do a virtual demo. That's usually where I will start. Your team's scattered anyway. That's probably where you'll start as well. Those are just, if you're not going to the conference, it's not, I didn't get to go, write it off. There's a lot of things that will happen at the conference. One of the things is we will bring the conference to you. We're going to do a lot of interviews in action, and that's where we grab industry leaders, healthcare leaders, and we ask them, hey, what's new? What's going on? What is valuable that you want to share with the industry? So we're going to capture those. Those are 10 to 15 minute interviews. Both Drex and I will do that, and we'll probably come out with 20 to 30 of those interviews, and those are quick listens. You put them on 1.5 times speed, you can listen to them, a bunch of them as you're driving into work over the next couple of weeks. So that's it. That's my, I'm not going to go back through them because I'm a little over on time, but you get the picture. You don't have to go to the conference to get the maximum value out of it. You can also get value from afar. That's all for today. Don't forget, share this podcast with a friend or colleague. We want to thank our channel sponsors who are investing in our mission to develop the next generation of health leaders. SureTest, Artisight, Enterprise Health, Parlance, Certify Health, Notable, and ServiceNow. Check them out at thisweekhealth.com/today. Thanks for listening. That's all for now.